KD, and that's about it. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Okay, there you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Okay, we gotta take a look at it again.
So I must say, right, at a glance, it's pretty close.
That's an objective factor,
Hey,
Rashi. Thank you so
you
much.
have more time now. You can't do that.
Or if you look at it, I think the DPM shows that RQ Hoshi might be a bit more aggressive. But again, Falcon Esports, we've seen them play so strongly towards the objective game. So maybe that shows, right? Maybe RQ are more comfortable doing other things as well. Whereas for Falcon, if they stick to their game plan, they play with their solid retribution, I think that's the way to go right here. But if you look at the GPM, right, shows you again the value of focusing on the neutral objective. It doesn't mean that, you don't actually get as much. Sometimes by playing objective-wise, not really focusing too much on looking for flashy moments or snowballing kills, you can still get a great deal of value from efficient farming.
Yeah, efficient farming. And speaking of flashy moments, Rashi, I'm wondering if RQ Hoshi will take that EVOS route of planning the Hayabusa for attacks, because so far, from what we've seen, the Nolan is much less, dynamic in a way. He can contribute in the team fight, but Dex with the Hayabusa is always a lethal threat wherever he is, always try to find a hole in the opponent's defense, even though it doesn't really translate to wins all the time.
That's why when we go back to actually into the interview that Caleb did with us, he did mention that he was able to ban Hayabusa in the third match because of the way the banning phase actually elapsed. Do you really understand what he meant by that?
I'm gonna guess there's some heroes that EVOS just absolutely do not want to face.
Right.
And the third one is kind of like a freebie for them.
Alright, so let's see whether or not the Hayabusa will actually come through, because it looks like Dax still will be playing in the jungle position as we take a look at the official team roster for Falcon Esports. Still with Royal Milk, Benny, Kid X, and PX7 alongside with the famous Hayabusa user.
Ducks. Well, let's see how they want to approach this, because usually when it comes down to the drafting phase, I think everyone can agree that RRQ's drafting has been kind of notorious, at least. We know that Kescute usually has some kind of plan going on. So especially now that we've seen that some teams are able to find some advantages purely from the drafting phase, I wonder if Falcon Esports themselves have some kind of plan to throw off RRQ. Because for sure, I think they're anticipating some kind of trickery coming in the drafting phase.
Maybe one thing that I want to point out is, once again, that Skylar is not here instead of Skylar. It's Toy. So maybe RQ want to just go from like the Skylar-centric play, or maybe try to build through Skylar's hero instead of, right now. Maybe focusing more for more Suijin heroes, or maybe Clay. Not Clay. It's nostalgia, man.
It's okay, it's okay. I mean, we don't know who's going to be playing just yet because, the official team roster from RQ has not been shown just yet. So let's, reel things in a little bit and take a look at these detailed statistics for Falcon Esports. Let's see, because so far we've been seeing in terms of objectives, they have been highly prominent in the early game because they're usually able to get a lot of early game centric plays going down, but again, it all depends on the heroes that are actually being picked by them for the coaches. So what can we see from this? What can we pick from this?
Well, one immediately is the Hayabusa. We've seen it prior to first pick even on occasion. That for sure sticks out. But the other thing is the Belleric. Man, I don't know if other teams are also jumping on this Belleric trend. But considering that they play around the neutral objective a lot, this Belleric has been one of the bigger tools they've been using to really shut down any kind of counter-argument from the teams when they're trying to make sure that they are the ones in control of the situation. So if that's the idea, right, I wonder if they have a replacement. I wonder if that's like a placeholder, if they do have anything better up their sleeves for when the going gets tough.
Guys. What I like is the fact that they want to play maybe like more standard way to play, like a front to back, because they play the Belleric, they play the Highlands, they play the Integral, but the Luoyi is always been banned for Falcon Esports, so there's no like diversion that can pretty much change the team fight and an easy flank for the opponent's team. They want to play the standard usual way, trying to be as disciplined as possible.
Selamat sore semuanya.
X factors, I guess, from the other teams.
And with that being said, we are going to see what the players are feeling right now. What's it going? Is it tense? Is it playful? Let's have a ring call. You guys there over in KL? What's going on with the players of Falcon Esports?
special day, an important day. It is the last day of the
interview
group
lagi.
stage, mana kita akan dapat tahu pasukan mana yang akan layak ke playoffs dan pasukan mana akan tersingkir. But before that,
16.30 dikit lagi, guys.
the Falcon Esports
16.
coach, and we are in their player booth right now. And I can see that coach is actually very energetic.
5 menit
today.
lagi.
We told him it's serious,
Trap.
and he was just like, "I'm gonna dance." So, coach, how are you feeling leading up to this matchup?
ဒီနေ့စိတ်တိုင်းဘယ်လိုမျိုးနေလဲဒီနေ့ match တွေ့ရမှာဆိုတော့စိတ်တိုင်းဘယ်လိုမျိုးထားလဲ
Aman, suara aman, guys.
ဘယင်းအင်ဒို
Gambar, aman, gambar.
ကျွန်တော်ပျော်နေရပေါ့ They are happy to go against the Indonesian Kings. They are very happy.
Okay, now coach, speaking about the Indonesian Kings, yesterday you guys unfortunately fell to the hands of EVOS wholly with a 2-1 score. Now, what did you guys learn from your mistakes yesterday that you guys can apply to today? Because you guys are in Group B. It's very,
Anjing
very
gacor,
tight.
Tok.
ဒီမနေ့တော့ရှုံးတဲ့ EVOS Holy Match 2-1နဲ့ရှုံးသွားတာအခုတော့ဒီနေ့ကဘာ strategy ထုတ်မလဲဘာ new strategy ထားမလားစိတ်တိုင်းလည်းဘယ်လိုမျိုးထားလဲ
Ngomong apa dia?
လာလာတဲ့တော်တော်များဒီနေ့ကမနေ့ကတည်းကပို့ပြီးတော့ပြင်ဆင်ထားရပါတော့မနေ့ကဟိုရှုံးသွားတဲ့အမားတွေလည်းပြင်ဆင်ပြီးသွားပြီဒီနေ့က point လည်းလိုနေရဆိုတော့အာဂျူအနိုင်ဆုံးကိုပဲကျွန်တော်အများကြီးပြင်ဆင်တာပဲ So they
Ini udah
lost
maksimal
yesterday,
guys ya,
so
ininya.
now they are more
10-80
prepared than
nih udah.
yesterday. That's what I
Yes.
feel right now.
Yes,
And of course
Elna.
they really need the points to get through and this is really make or break for them. So points very important for them right now.
Yes, I agree. It is very, very tight, especially in the Group B standings where everybody's literally head to head right now. So you know what, Coach? Good luck for your game today. Hopefully your dancing and good vibes will
Okay,
pull
ini
you
dikit
guys
lagi nih,
through.
drop, guys.
So thank you very much, Mo. Thank you, Coach. Tanpa membuang masa, mari kita ke caster.
All right. It's playful. It's
Let's
playful
go.
over there. I mean, they're looking good. They're looking
Kingdom,
confident.
mana suara
They got the
Kingdom ya?
moves,
They got
honestly.
the moves.
Mo, man, shout out, man. Great translation as always. And yeah, I like the confidence.
Walaupun kemarin
Like,
kalah
they're
ya.
happy to go up against the Indonesian Kings.
Anjem.
I feel like, you know, that's just more than just a statement. That's
Of
a
course,
challenge.
that's what you got
Oh,
from that
man.
interview.
Okay.
Indonesian Kings.
Oh, I'm just quoting what he said.
Okay.
And it's a cool language, by the way.
Speaking of kings,
Language.
let's see the lineup for the Kings of Kings today. RQ Hoshi all the way from Indonesia.
Ah.
Still with Dyrant in the XP
King
lane,
Toy.
Jin, Rins, Edok, as well as Toy.
Kind of out of topic.
King
Rashi,
Toy
but
ya.
How are you
Let's
taking
go King
the
Toy.
jerseys here?
I think it's pretty cool, man. Has
King
a
Toy.
refreshing vibe.
I like
Yeah.
the white one.
Oh,
Bentar,
okay.
ini.
That one's nice.
I like the fact that they have.
Aduh, gimana
blue in
cara
it. It's kind of like
ngopinya dah?
throwing you out of. It's not the usual RQ is what I'm trying to say.
Well, but they occasionally just pull on those crazy colors.
That's
like
true.
Purple. That was,
Yeah.
you know,
Cream.
that's pretty wild. Yeah, cream too.
Pink
Way
Toy.
back then. But let's see. As always, I feel like they're
Oh.
always pretty chill when it comes down to it.
Right? How sick is it? The white one?
That is very cool,
It's
actually.
a collab,
Super
right?
cool.
It is. It is.
Yeah. But I don't think we
Super
can legally say
cool.
that here. Or
Yeah, I don't
Shout
know.
out
I don't know if we
to
can. Yeah.
the designer of the jerseys.
Yeah, it's a cool jersey, man.
for sure.
Always. Season after season.
We notice. We notice.
But what about playstyle of Araki Hoshi? Because we haven't seen a lot of Araki Hoshi on our particular stream, on Stream C. How do you think their playstyle is right now? And how do you think it's gonna fare against the playstyle we've seen from Falcon Esports?
Well, in theory, it's pretty textbook in a way. Like they focus so much on not making too many mistakes, right? When the rotations in the middle of the fights, they generally know what to do, and I feel like that is what we've said is one of the stronger aspects of Falcon Esports right now. So technically,
Semenit lagi nih, drop nih, kocak.
similar thing.
Mana kocak?
You know, for lack of a better
Biasanya
term, a
kagak
similar
ini.
thing for even longer. So I feel like
Kagak ngaret
it's
nih,
gonna
Esl,
come
Cok.
down to the planning from the drafting phase, and then from the beginning, like okay, where to rotate to, which lane to kind of make
Bentar
plays
guys,
around.
kita
Because I feel like when it comes
coba
down to
copy
mechanics,
ini coba.
both teams have shown
Okay,
insane
nice, bisa.
mechanics respectively.
I gotta be honest with you, like I haven't done my scouting towards RRQ yet. This is gonna be the first match that I'm gonna see, and
Okay.
I'm gonna
Nah.
saving myself for it, man.
Nice, oh.
I just want to see how's the new RRQ look like, or at least RRQ without Scout look like in this particular
You wanna
tournament.
enjoy it.
Yeah,
Savor it.
Savor it. No spoilers. Are you the type of person that likes to watch trailers before you watch a movie?
kinda.
Yeah, but you don't even want to watch RQ. I thought you were like the type of person who don't
It's a
like
different
trailers.
one. Because I care about MLBB. I don't care about the movies.
Whoa, okay. Respect.
Yeah.
Lama kali
Excellent
ngedropnya
salary.
kocak.
Oh, let's go.
Like, one
I don't
rupiah,
mind.
one idea.
Thank you so much, Eterna.
No. IDR1 IDR.
IDR1 IDR.
Yeah, exactly. So we heard from the players from Falcon
itu nonton
Esports
RRQ dulu,
earlier
woy.
on, but let's take a
Let's
look
go.
at RRQ right now. How are they doing before this matchup against Falcon Esports?
Manager, kalau kita tengok pasukan Falcons daripada Myanmar, dan antara standout player mereka adalah Dax. Lagi bila dia mendapatkan Hayabusa, sampai kita nampak dia first pick Hayabusa. Adakah kegunaan Dax punya Hayabusa akan jadi satu sebahagian strategi korang hari ini, sama ada untuk ban ataupun ada strategi lawan dengan hero tersebut?
Untuk strategi mungkin ya dari pembahasan dengan coach kita ban.
Okay, for the strategy, I think Dex gonna be a little bit dizzy today because they're gonna ban Hayabusa.
Okay, right now I nak tanya pasal
Tebel
pressure.
buat
Sebab
make up
on the Falcon
Polius.
side, nampak senang banget sih. They were dancing, they were having fun.
Emang
And
putih
kita
nggak
tahu
sih?
kan Group B
Dia
belum confirm mana-mana lagi pasukan yang boleh pergi kepada top 3. Jadi adakah ini letak pressure
Emang putih dia,
yang tinggi
kocak
kepada
lu.
players RRQ?
I think we will nothing to lose. We are like don't overthink about win or lose, just play. Like that.
Ya, jadi mereka pikir mereka bakal nothing tulus karena mereka tahu mereka ada RRQ, tim yang kuat.
Alright, thank you very much Corlius, thank you very much Sokso, and now kita akan pergi balik
prediksi
kepada
bro.
So if Falcon
Nilai
Esports
di
they
mana
were
dah? Di
dancing and being
ESL,
really
kocak.
chill, it looks like the same can be said about RRQ
ESL,
too. They
ESL.
seem super calm.
Kalau
They
bingung
said they
tonton
have
sini aja,
nothing to
Cok.
lose in the group,
Kita
despite
nobar di
things are
sini lah,
being
kocak lu.
things are very very close in the standings
Tebak
as
skor,
well.
tebak skor.
So that's a good sign. But what's not a good sign for Falcon Esports is that they said that they are going to be banning the Hayabusa today. So we might not be seeing Dax on
Jadi
his
lebih putih,
hero.
kocak
Speaking
lu.
of heroes, these are the heroes for
Ngata-ngatain
RRQ
orang lu
Hoshi.
kocak.
I mean, that was funny, man. Oh, very simple. Ban.
It seems
Which
like
bad.
he has the vibes of
2-1
like gossip channel host.
RRQ.
Who?
Gossip channel host.
A gossip channel host.
2-0.
Oh,
I mean-
it goes. What were we talking about earlier?
Well, I'm just saying, like,
Soalnya lama banget, Cok.
RRQ, they can't
Sabar, kocak.
ban it, right?
Ini
But I think there's a
bacot
chance
doang
here,
nih.
because if you look at the
Sabar
heroes
lu.
possible to them,
Biasanya kagak ngarit nih,
get
ESL
away as
anjing.
well. This is the kind of questions that RRQ kind of throws at you, right? Because they're
That's
pretty
true.
flexible.
But
Sabar
that means
dulu
also
kocak.
Jin plays a
Dia
huge
buang-buang waktu
array
dulu
of
lah.
heroes, no?
We can't really rule out the Ling also, even though it's not.
Sabar
really
dulu,
here
kita
right now.
nonton RRQ
And
menang nih,
Spec
sabar
hero,
lu
man.
guys.
Like I like the fact that
Kemarin kan RRQ
heroes
kalah.
that kinda-
Ya udah nih menang nih.
not in line in the way Keskid want to play it.
So we are kind of moments away of coming into the drafting phase. So before
suara
we
aman
get
kan,
into that,
Gilang.
let's take a look at the caster predictions. Let's bring it up.
Poting-poting. Nah,
Excuse me?
gitu dong.
Excuse me? This is blasphemy. What are you doing?
2-0 Falcon katanya anjay. Enggak ada pilihan Falcon buat.
My
Di
goodness.
sini
I'm not entertained.
Kingdom
Oh my
kocak
God.
lu.
Please
Enggak ada Falcon di sini
Blamed and
kocak lu.
shamed.
Whoa,
Just kidding.
relax. Whoa.
Just kidding, just
Who's the RRQ?
Suara yang mana? Suara gua kocak.
He wants
My
me to
goodness.
feel what he felt when he said somebody was overrated.
Kita nonton
Let's
King
not
Toy
go
ya.
there, please.
So, like,
Let's not go there,
I mean,
please.
it's just a prediction. Maybe I'm even cursing Falcon Esports right now. You know,
Fingers
there's so many
crossed.
ways to spin it. But are we ready for the drafts? Can we skip?
Let's go.
Let's go to the drafts. Game number 1,
Nah.
drafting phase, ladies and
Game
gentlemen.
pertama.
One of the last
Record,
few
please.
matches here in the Snapdragon Pro Series. And it looks like we're already in the middle
gue
of it.
takut
What's
tapi.
going on?
nanti
Turns out
aja lah.
RQ will actually be banning out that Hayabusa.
As promised by
Takut nggak, terus
Soso,
gua anjing.
team manager, shout out,
Sabar.
that they go for the Hylas, they go for the Granger as well, and now they've gone
Ah.
for the Alpha.
Game
quite early
pertama.
on. And usually that
Suara
Alpha shows
apnya.
up when
Suara gua kocak.
one,
Suara
you're up
gua.
against some really beefy
Aman nggak suara gua?
HP heroes, like for instance the Hilda, a known counter to deal with the Hilda to kind of
Ada drop.
chunk her down.
Fokus
is
game
the
ya.
Alpha. And number 2 is if you require the fast
Fokus game,
clearing
guys.
speed. And against a Suyo, I guess clearing speed becomes something that's quite valuable. But along with that, they've banned the Fanny as
Setengah
well.
pick.
Can't let that go.
Mana
For
gua tahu,
Falcon
kocak.
Esports,
Itu
still,
ESL-nya,
so much
anjing.
emphasis on the Yve and the low Yi for the mid lane. And technically the Yve is a known strong hero
Aman,
for
okay,
wins
okay.
as well for the side of RRQ. So those two mages along with the Mathilda. Now, technically, if you look at it, Trevin, we talked about how the Mathilda, the sustain route,
Yeah.
can be a way to deal with the Granger. But now Falcon Esports no longer have that option.
And even for Arky Hoshi, we usually see Alpha with Matilda. Now the dynamic play of this
Oh,
Alpha.
dapat Granger
Like,
nih.
you cannot really be over aggressive once you commit towards the Spear of Alpha. Then you're in a way.
Kalau
whether you're
jungler sih
cooking
masih
or you're
bagusan
cooked.
Suyo kali ya.
And it's also a good
Daripada
matchup
Alpha, bro.
against the Aura too.
Lebih enakan
though,
Suyo, guys.
the CCs were there, and you know he can still kind of tank up the damage wave from Falcon Esports. As we're gonna take a look at the banning phase, in the second banning phase here, Lucas gets taken away. They don't want to see that. You know, what animal is he, by the way?
Lucas?
Yeah,
He's a secret beast.
it's not a wolf.
Looks like a wolf, but
Yeah.
you know, you never know, right? It's just referred to as a sacred beast form. But yeah, no Lucas, so no potential
Bencho.
for a crazy aggressive EXP laner for Araki Hoshi. So far, at least, no Lucas that can dive in the backline. But for Falcon Esports, there's no real vulnerable backline to see anyhow.
Yeah.
And for RRQ, the fact that they ban away the Cho, are they concerned about the pressure, right? The jungle interference? Are they concerned about the pick-off potential? Well, they answer with a jawhead themselves. So far, it's not the tankiest lineup for RRQ Hoshi, but the fact that they have a
Jawhead.
fighter jungle
Idok spam jawhead
that does
kah?
equalize, you know, and allow them to have the superior frontline tanking potential.
Okay, so a good matchup for the Granger will surely be an Airthel, but it also present a concern too, right? Because it's not really the greatest threat towards the front line of RQ Hoshi. Even though against the Jawhead, I think it's kind of decent, especially if you bring a Purify, I guess.
Aelos
can
pasti di Darren.
There's a possibility that they're gonna pick maybe a carry if they want to play that route,
Ooh, a carry.
but a bit too risky there. But it looks like it's gonna be a Moskov instead. Using the long lane potential, especially in the late game, they have more
Moskov
options
badang.
to go with. But Badang Arashi, not really
Apa nih mid lane nya nih
greatest
kita?
win rate in the opening
RRQ
area,
guys.
but they actually picked it in the room.
Right, so good stopping potential. Considering Araki Hoshi has a very front-to-back type composition so far, it's a potential to flank, it's a potential to catch the Granger off guard.
Wow.
Parsa lagi,
Like
Parsa
the
lagi
pick of this
guys.
Farsa, man. All the long range, and if you want to stand and brawl, they have more than enough of that as well. And technically, they have a lot of pick-off potential for Araki Hoshi with the Jawhead, the Feather Airstrike, the Spear of Alpha. So many ways for them to nuke someone down immediately. And for Falcon, I dare say, not a single person on their team can really withstand that. So later on, they'll really have to rely on stopping the pick-off attempt as it goes, as it begins. Otherwise, if a Badang, if a Phoveus gets
Badang?
pulled into the
Badang?
initial 1v4, I don't think they're coming out alive.
Yeah, so they're gonna play a bit more responsive
Game
compared to
pertama.
RQ's aggressiveness. But we're gonna see here, RQ, they need this W so bad to be able to qualify to
Anjing jadi kaku
the
gitu,
next round. King of Kings facing off the lone representative
Kenapa gitu?
of the Myanmar. I lost T-posing just for the vibes. We're gonna see here who's gonna win as Badang is gonna welcome us in the light of dawn.
Buset.
Ooh, look at the plays, look at the moves. Bam!
Directed by Michael Bay.
Snapdragon Pro Series, let's go. And already, a bit of an aggression here. I do wonder, again, for both teams, what's the strategy here? Where is the chess match going to take them? Is it the gold lane, where RRQ technically have an edge with the,
Game pertama ya.
the very meta Granger that has secured 2 Savages? Or is it going to be a mid lane thing? Because especially with RRQ, they like to play with the Rin's Edok synergy themselves. Looking at the emblems right here though, Festival of Blood and Thrill for Toy using the Granger, so a good bit of sustain. But even the Farsa here, knowing that there's going to be a dive attempt, there's going to be
Down.
tries for Falcon Esports to kind of dive in the backline, goes for the tenacity on that Farsa. It's something you're seeing, just as a precaution, as always.
PX7.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a good time here for Benny, man. There's just too much long-range potential coming in from RRQ, as this might be the first skirmish. No, looks like they just want to play it safe and farm up just a little bit until Sutsujin gets his level 4, which he did. Now the question is, the first objective fight, Arashi. I feel like RRQ should be favored here, right? Question mark?
I do believe so, with the region advantage that Dairon will have with the Glorious Pathway and the Revitalize, and also the fact that Edok on the Jawhead is a tank but also has a decent amount of damage. I feel like they should...
Wih, flicker.
Oh,
Whoosh!
try something.
My goodness, the chase
Amati
and the
ya,
flicker by Edok,
nice.
and that's the first kill for this Jawhead. Good one for RQ.
Great timing. And again, the pick of potential, the pick of threat is just so dangerous.
Oh, they're not letting up just yet though. Dex might be in trouble here.
Mati
This
kah?
one comes through.
Aduh,
Dex
masih
still
ada-
able to get away with the dash. And this might be a concede towards the turtle. And even Falcon, they're just trying to get this turtle purple buff in peace, man.
Oh. Alright, Edok getting knocked around. But he's way more survivable. Look at that. Whoa.
Oh, feathered edge right on first PX7. One more HP. But no, Royal Milk got chased down by Edok. Doesn't have the ejector just yet. And jumping jacks is stunned by Royal Milk. Benny with the Spear of Destruction connects, but looks like RQ just gonna bounce out and regroup.
Oh, ini udah untung nih.
The fact that the pickup attempt from RQ is on such a low cooldown, you know, Edok going for the ejector isn't an ultimate, and it doesn't always require a battle spell. So at any moment, there could be a random Spear of Alpha, there could be a stun coming out of Rins, there could be an ejector. So the multiple threats that RQ can show, can flash over at Falcon Esports, makes it quite difficult for them to predict, you know, what exact route RQ are going to try and go for.
Ooh, mid lane though, there is the skirmish there. Edok gonna get bounced down. Oh, he's forward. Dax gonna go out with the CC immune there, but Susujin takes the cake towards Kid X. 2 kills towards Kid X already. But down row Marashi.
Nah, kan enak ini, Cok. Menang early-nya, guys.
He loses out due to the lack of tankiness so far. He has damage, but again, in these fights, he's also the one tanking the damage. You can't really do both and get away with it. In the bottom lane, though,
Benny getting ganked by 2 people here. Rin still saving, or doesn't have the ultimate just yet, though. But it's still a good harass there towards the bottom lane. As no, Benny's not gonna go back. He's playing it bravely.
there's a lot of pressure from RRQ as well, just showing themselves like that. Like, look at this though, Edok.
Oh no, dashes or what were dashes still able for
that?
Mati gonna go caught up with the aggro from the turret. Royal Milk gonna get pounced out by Suzuki.
Ya udah, nggak
You
apa-apa.
can see the damage already, the true damage,
Nonton
but
aja, Cok.
it's not enough just yet from Sutsujin.
That's close, man. Edok almost got punished for that. Another wave is stuck on the side of RRQ, and maybe Dyran can take advantage of that to bully Royal Milk even more.
BTW ini
Because,
17 suara nih.
all-in type of hero.
2-1 menang.
Hylas actually likes going up against heroes like that to stack
Kocak juga ya.
up the pulses of damage that he has from the second skill. Now, as the turtle shows up here, we'll have to see, man. The bush control that the Jawhead requires isn't available to RRQ just yet.
Yeah, and Dyran is gonna be the one who's checking the bush though. Royal Milk might be the target here. Looks like it's going to be Girex, actually, and one more hit will do it. Susujin might take that one. It's actually Rinse, even though he doesn't have that feather airstrike just yet. Royal Milk in the front line. Frigid Glacier connects on towards 2. Edok and also Dyran still taking a lot of damage in the front line. Rinse gonna catch up with the flicker, but Dax wants the kill, wants some HP and kill and goal for himself. Susujin trying to chase again. The hits cannot go any further, and that should be it for those two. Who wins at that time?
Oh, I don't know, man. That was such a chaotic chain of affairs there, especially because Falcon were actually able to secure the turtle in that fight. Dax, as always, especially on the Suyo. It's no surprise that he's able to go for a steal there, but the fights are actually a lot closer than you would expect. Especially in that kind of drawn-out format, I really do feel that you're seeing Falcon Esports gain a bit more value when RRQ are unable to get the decisive pick-off. Fortunately for them, they're able to delete KidX almost immediately, but afterwards, when they're duking it out, you can see that Dax was able to come in and like do a lot of damage. Royal Milk was able to hit everyone at the same time. RRQ, if they want to keep having avoid clumping up together here, because it seems like that's a big concern.
Okay, Edok and Suzuki trying to help Toy get this one. KidX might be caught in a bad situation here. Benny with the Spear of Destruction goes forward. Getting caught up in the Spear of Alpha. And that's a kill towards Toy 2, in fact, with Sky Pierce as well.
2 kills for RRQ.
Nice.
Falcon Esports just desperate to hang on to the turret, trying to make sure that they have some kind of semblance of control. It is traded back on the top side, but with 2 kills, and again, with the stacks potentially coming into the hands of RRQ, they're just pushing the tempo here. Edok going for a just a walk under turret.
Just evading the freezing potential there from PX7.
Kalau Bayun mah menang aja lo anjing daripada
This is why Hylas is still pretty much one of the best heroes to counter this one. Edok, though, this might be a solo kill.
Boom.
Ejector, or there's people there trying to help him to get this one. The passive's not gonna go through for Prince, just one hit away. As Benny was able to get away.
But by doing that, right, even though they were unable to get the kill there, it kind of puts worries in the mind of Benny there. He wasn't expecting that. Now he's going to be a lot more careful when he's moving around, trying to go for some kind of split push pressure. But look at Falcon rushing down the turtle. This is their plan.
3 items already for Toy, stacking up the items. Sojin gets the Retribution instead of Dax. Kidak's gonna be brought back by the Ejector, and that should be another kill for Toy. The Rhapsody gets him. Another Sky Piercer stack for the Gold
Anjir,
Leader.
musuhnya Soyu loh.
Wow.
Gelo.
Decisive moves from RRQ. Noticing the blitz attempt, immediately zoning, threatening with the glorious pathway, and Sutsujin actually getting the turtle there. That's a great win for RRQ. And they're gonna extend it even more by going for the top side.
And the XP difference. Even PX7, he was 2 levels behind just now. He gets level 8 finally, compared to Rince's 9. And RRQ right now, they're just rolling through the Falcons in the air. So we're gonna take a look at the gold leaderboard, Arashi. Something is very appalling on top there.
Well, Toy definitely is farming up a storm. So is Sutsujin. This is how they have to play, right? Alpha's one of Alpha's strongest aspects.
05 aja tuh badang, guys.
After all, but so not too far below is Benny, right? Only 2,000 gold below. If you look at the gold,
udah snowball banget sih ini, guys.
definitely not ideal. I think we saw him secure the golden staff earlier.
Tinggal
He's gonna
finishing
require
aja sih
more
harusnya
than
ini.
that, especially if you look at Dyron. He's actually doing very well for
Udah
himself.
pegang banget nih game RR,
And
guys.
if he itemizes properly, for now at least, Benny still will not be able to shred that Hylas down at all.
Yeah, this is the question, I guess. Like, the Tyron and Edok has been pretty disciplined so far in opening the bushes. Edok didn't really overextend too much, at least only 1 kill so far towards this Jawhead. And Tyron will be the actual buddy in the front for RRQ. PX7.
Lawan EVOS.
The Ratifice is gone. What more
Enggak.
Rince just
Menang.
missed a frame.
Tinggal
from
finishing
that
nih, sabar dulu.
Airstrike.
Ooh, that's Royal Milk with the hero play as well, blocking the shot coming in from Toy. But this is the danger. Even if you have some clear in your team for Falcon Esports with Aurora, with the Moskov as well, all that damage came from so far away with the Feather Airstrike and the Death Sonatas that Araki Hoshi are able to threaten even under the turret. And I don't think there's any time here for Falcon Esports to even get in position.
Yep, absolutely no way. So it's been already level 13 compared to Texas 12, I believe, which is, not gonna lie, it's a bit better than I expected it to be, even though this is an alpha that's snowballing.
Alright, at least for now, Falcon Esports can still clear their jungle. But with this Lord, what's the idea here? Araki Hoshi can go for a multi-lane push, like a 3-lane Lord push, or they can stagger it and go for multiple base turrets individually. Right? In theory, if they want to make use of that pick-off potential, they want to have more chances to try and go for it. And right now, Suzuki has that Winter Crown, so
harusnya nggak bisa instan sih.
look for a possibility for him to go in and kind of bait out some of the reactions coming
Bisa
in
ngebait
from
juga
Falcon
tuh.
Esports.
For sure, and Tyron has another item in the bag. It's Athena Shield just
Kayak badangnya ngeplank tuh.
7's damage, so he can be roaming around freely in the front line for RRQ. It gets harder and harder as the time goes on for Falcon Esports right now. They're marching to the base. Edok
Edok.
Still
T-Dex,
play.
though.
Find something here? Get caught up.
T-Dex is on the back, going for some kind of maneuver here, but the towers are falling, man. He needs to push the tempo.
Tuh, lihat badang
Still trying to find something here. I think Rince kind of spotted up. No, Rince does not know him. And Kidex will just try to play it safe.
Nice banget Rince, anjing.
Uh-oh, do they want to actually go for that? But RRQ just want to play
Nice
discipline. They
banget,
want to get the top lane. Try to play it little by
kena 3.
little. Goes in, still has the Winter Crown to bail him out. Still gonna go down either way
Nice.
by
Game
Dex,
pertama
though.
menang,
It
guys, ya.
looks like bodies are falling. It's going to be RRQ losing 2 members. And Toy actually getting a retaliation there. 2 for 2 so far for Falcons and RRQ Hoshi.
Oh man, equal trade, but all things considered,
Anjing,
3
belum main,
turrets
Cok.
down.
Udah
for
senang aja
RRQ
gua,
and
anjing.
Toy.
Oh,
Once all the smoke, man, moving forward on that Granger, not really threatened by any kind
Lawak
of
belum
hitback
menang,
potential
Cok.
from Falcon Esports. That's unfortunate that Susujin was able to be caught so far out in the front, kind of left alone, overextended a little bit. And look at this, they're still sticking around right here, RRQ.
yeah. It just caging
Bejir.
the Falcons in a birdcage. And the thing about Toy is he has the Fighter Emblem and a Festival of Blood, as you said earlier, Rashi. So I don't think he needs to recall anytime soon. If he gets to like 1/3 of HP, he can just heal up with the minions and also with the camps as well. So they're just very comfortable just staying here. As 3 shots of
3 hit kah? 2 hit, guys?
Mr. Toy was able to get PX7 down to half HP, even with the Blood Wings passive.
It really seems like the front line for Falcon Esports is still durable enough to tank some of those shots. But when it comes to the backline,
Payah banget, harus nunggu Lord
half
lagi, Cok.
HP, even lower. That's just dangerous, man. Especially again, if it's just comboed with a
Gini-gini
very
bahaya
quick
nih,
feather
anjing.
airstrike,
Takut
that
comeback,
could be it.
kocak
That
lu.
could be a backline member gone for
Si
quite a
Dexnya
decent
kagak ada
amount of
mati
time.
anjir.
By all means, we're only at 12 minutes right now. Death timers aren't crazy. But with this pace, man, there's so much that
Iklannya
RRQ
lama
can
lagi,
try and
emang iya?
find and do in 2 minutes. As we take a look at some of these items, glowing wands available for PX7 on the Aurora. It's going to cut down on all this regeneration, and it's a value item considering the Festival of Blood on the
Emang
Granger,
iya lu?
the shielding and healing coming in from literally everyone, the Alpha, the Hylas as well. And now Benny finally with the Trinity and the Malefic Gun. This is a massive power
Enggak lah,
strike.
paling 5 menit
but
10
is it
menit lah.
enough? Darren only
Ininya,
has the
jedanya
dominance
kocak,
ice
mana ada
cream,
lama.
but I believe he's working on one more physical defense item immediately already.
I think it's going to come down to how Rince will execute this feather airstrike, because so far Benny does not have a single magic defense item that he can use to be able to kind of deter the damage. Meanwhile, we're gonna get dove on by the Spear of Alpha from Suchijin. The kill goes down or goes to Toy. Benny and crew is so low, and this should be it. RRQ will take the game. Game number 1 against the representative of Myanmar in a convincing fashion.
Talk about finishing strong right there. They wiped out the whole team, sending a message, reminding Falcon Esports that you can't take us lightly, man.
See?
They were controlling that game the whole time. And it really just seemed like
Bye-bye.
whatever
Apaan lu
Falcon was
bye-bye?
trying to do, RRQ knows the solution, the solve immediately.
Absolutely. This is a
Buset,
very
King
good
Toy.
start for RRQ Hoshi. If they want to make it to
Kuatnya
the
21 ya
playoffs,
anjing
right?
ini.
I think that's the main concern on everybody's mind right now. And back to that game, RRQ being able to control
Kuatnya
so
21
much of
anjing.
it, even from the early game. I
2-0
think
bisa lah
the
buat dongkrak ini.
composition that was drafted for
klasemen,
them
Dok.
also was able to accentuate that play. Very quick rotations, huge repression onto
Nice,
the
nice.
Moskov. And this is something that is kind of concerning, right? Falcon Esports have found a lot of their success when they're able to gain control of the early game, and they're
Pergi dulu,
usually
ntar
able
kalau
to
udah
find a way to
masuk
balance
lagi. Oke,
out
oke.
and weather the storm
Aman
in
aja.
the early portions to the mid game if they
Ntar aku
have a
mau
reliable
benerin
source
ini dulu
for
nih.
the late game. But the problem was, Benny, being that source for the late game, was behind 2K the entire game. So he was always at least one or two items behind of a Toy. So how? What should they repair coming into the next game?
I feel like there's a multitude of factors right here. For instance, the lane matchup between the Granger and the Moskov, between Toy and Benny, that's one thing that you're highlighting, Eterna. But along with that, right,
Kayaknya nggak mau ya.
the Badang came out of nowhere, and you know, immediately that Balaric pick that Falcons are kind of known for comes to mind. But
Oh,
we
bisa,
see
Cok.
what happens when a Balaric
Tapi
goes
kagak
up
kedengeran,
against a
kocak.
Granger. So technically, there are multiple matchups here that kind of denies the usual comfort tools that Falcon has used to gain
Kedengeran nggak
that,
sih, guys?
to gain that edge, that advantage in the control department. So because of that, the Badang is squishy. Royal Milk also is tanky, but he can't do everything on his own. Whereas RRQ, they're playing for this pick-off style. So just like that, all the frontliners get threatened, and eventually, there's just no way for Falcon to actually control any kind of ground. And when that happens, when the Jawhead gets the bushes, when RRQ are able to set up, we know that they like playing this tricky play style. And I think Team Falcons just have to try and find a different solution here.
I do believe that this is the first time that Kid X has actually used the Badang in the roaming position, if I'm not mistaken, right? According to data. So he's usually known for heroes like maybe the Tigreal, right? That was something that we did note from their last match. Kid X getting his hands on a tool that can change the course of these team fights. Like you mentioned, right? That could also have been a factor.
I really think they didn't expect for RRQ to go all in on the pickoff there. Because even look at Royal Milk, he did less damage than Dax, you know, and Dax's usual approach is to go in, of course, do some damage, but also there's a lot of emphasis on the neutral objective. Usually you see Phobius's do a lot more damage because he's just doing jumping jacks in the middle of this massive team fight. And we saw RRQ not particularly play in a way that counters Royal Milk. They didn't spread out away so that he can't get multiple AoE procs of that demonic pursuit, in front of pursuit, sorry. So all that considered, Royal Milk just couldn't survive long enough. And we've seen how essential Royal Milk's dominance in the lane is to the control for Falcon Esports. That's something that they have to try and fix. And at least they have to try and fix one of these issues in the gold lane or the EXP lane. Because technically on paper, you know, both side lanes just aren't doing so well, and it's just so difficult for them to do anything with their stronger picks like the Suyo, like the Badang even in the early game, especially when the side lanes can't really participate.
Yeah, like
Anjay.
with distribution from Falcon Esports member, DX7
Rins
was
MVP,
doubled
bro.
by Rins. Even Mr. Penny is tripled by Toy. So you can see the disparity of
Parsagat ya.
room, I guess, that they actually have in that game to be able to operate. Look at this in the first few minutes. This is
Parsagat.
the early game potential of a Jawhead. Man, oh man.
Well, it's the Jawhead and also the Alpha, you know, the Hylas. Look at the amount of sustain that they have, man. You know, just built into their kit all the way from the early game. Perhaps Falcon Esports, if they really don't feel that confident, there wasn't really any need for them to go so all in the early game too, right? They have in a way, a pretty solid late game. They have a Moskov. They have tools that they can use to later on play that macro game. But they really thought that they were gonna have the edge here. And RQ just made sure that that wasn't the case.
And I think that's the problem of having such a textbook kind of playstyle, right? Because Falcon Esports, they're so used to playing around the objective game. So despite them not really having the proper tools and the proper resources to kind of battle it out against RQ Hoshi in the early game for the neutral objectives, it looks like they still forced the issue, and hence the gold gap just kept on getting further and further apart. And so RQ Hoshi just really steamrolled on that fact, right? They didn't really have to go for anything crazy. All they needed to do was respond to the over-zealousness in terms of decision-making coming in from Falcon Esports. And what was the gold difference? Like, did it reach 10K? Because it was quite huge. It was like 6K, 7K at some point.
I think it definitely touched 8K. I don't know if it went all the way towards 10. I was too distracted by all the action. But man, yeah, exactly. I feel like I like the adjustment. I'm not gonna say that Falcon Esports just couldn't do anything. They did notice that, man, we can't win the front two back at all, right? We get picked off way too early. We're starting fights with half our HP bars at this point. So they sent KidX on the back to try and go for that sneaky flank. So I like the attempts, right? They didn't just roll over and concede. They actually tried to find ways to make it work. Unfortunately, it didn't play out. They got spotted, right? But I think that shows that
Bisa lah 2-0
that
guys.
fighting spirit.
Ntar
in them.
lihat
So
jadwal
I
lu,
think
Cok.
game number 2, we're gonna see adjustments. We're gonna see attempts coming in from Falcon Esports to turn this around.
I'm just not really a big fan of a more responsive draft. Yes, they can actually go for a pick-off here and there with a Badang, with a Aurora, but overall, I think RQ just has the gun. Meanwhile, the Myanmar representative, Falcon Esports, they just have a shield and hope that the bullet ricochet towards the RQ team. Like, it's always like that ever since the early game
Mana jadwalnya anjing?
was RQ.
Interesting. So you're saying that a good offense is not a good
Stream
defense.
A.
You need to kind of take matters into your own hands and all that.
In a way, I guess. Just more, I guess, active draft in a way, because so far, from what I see in this tournament, the one that has a say on when the team fight begins, the one that has to say
ONIC EVOS udah kah? Udah selesai kah?
trigger or not, is usually the one that wins. Like, the responsive draft is less, I guess, threatening.
Yeah, the
Tar aku lihat
initiative is with
dulu,
the
Chan.
team that
Stream apa
actually
tuh?
controls and dictates the tempo. We've seen that from a variety of different teams as well, right? If they can't really engage, then they can't really pick fights. So I agree. I think Falcon Esports really show their best sides when they are able to actually have some kind of control. So
Wih, pas Holy menang
maybe
guys.
their adjustment is gonna begin with KidX.
Lawan
Something
ONIC
that
ID.
he can use to actually make some more game-changing plays happen.
Yeah, I want to see what happens if he gets Tigreal.
Epos Holy menang, Cok.
Again,
1-0
I think
juga.
The drafting phase wasn't Falcon's, in my opinion, right? First pick Suyo makes sense, and then it was responded by High Loss Granger, and then Falcon responds with a Fulvius Aurora. Do you think that the
Fulvius
Aurora
Aurora.
could have been a later pick? Because again, right, we were talking about the lanes, the side lanes not being in a
Epos
good
1-0 tuh
position.
sama
Moscow
lawan
against
ONIC.
Granger, Fulvius against
Hylos.
the Hylos.
I think there's a possibility for that to
Epos
be
Holy,
the option,
bisa.
because I feel like if Aurora, I get why they would want it, right? Against an alpha, this hero that just jumps at you. The Frigid Glacier can kind of isolate the alpha, make sure his team can't follow up and all that. So that's fine and all, but I do feel like there are other options still available, even if the Aurora wasn't really, secured that early. So I think maybe switching that up for something else could work, Eterna. I do agree.
Okay, let's see the changes coming through, because we do have a short break before we continue this best of 3 series. Because once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's match point for RQ. So we'll see you after. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Allah. Wih, semenit aja, aman. 1 menit guys. Aman, 1 menit. Ntar aku buka lagu lu, Cok. Satu menit, aman 1 menit guys. Satu menit aman lah ya. Bentar, ini kan bisa. Memang harus di ini kocok. Nah, apa nih? Oh, itu voting ya. 1 menit aman 1 menit guys. Bentar doang ini, aman aja. Pos itu tadi di stream mana dah? Stream A ya? Balik lagi. Nah, ya gitu dong. 55% nih anjir. 2-0 ya kan. Supaya bisa dongkrok posisi RRQ, cowok. 2-0 itu udah 3 poin dapatnya. Dua 0 3 poin, 2-1 2 poin. Yang kalah itu 1 poin guys. Kalau kalah 2-1. Jadi kalau 2-0 itu 3 poin, lumayan tuh. Jadi ya berharap 3-0 aja nih, 3-0. 2-0. Apa nih? Streamannya gini kocak. Ada intro-intronya. Anjir udah drop cok ini. EVOS ONIC udah drop, kocak ya, RRQ belum, kocak. Kenapa nih? Lama kali. Tahu-tahu udah tengah anjir grafiknya kayak tadi. Grafik.
To the drafting phase. We'll see if Falcon Esports
Let's go.
win out in the draft chess match this time. And I wonder if there's gonna be a side swap.
Should be right. I think Falcon Esports definitely welcomes a change more than RQ right now, because a change definitely needs to be done. But what do you think about the Granger Arashi? I feel like this time around RQ just don't want to play
Game kedua
around or maybe against Benny Granger.
Well, so far, I think it really depends still. But the issue is that there's so many ways now to deal with some of these assassins. And if you go play a Granger and you secure a strong solid front line with pick-off potential, with stopping potential, then it just becomes very difficult, right? That seems to be the pattern here. If there's any way for
enggak
team
aman.
at all
Dari awal,
to
dari
try
awal.
and catch that Granger, and then they kind of lose out.
Ban
on the
YP
front line.
anjir.
But then if they want to play front to back,
OP kah?
the Granger is one of the best marksmen to do it in that position. So I think there's going to be an emphasis on the Granger for sure. Whether or not RRQ Hoshi feels confident enough letting it go, I think we have to wait and see.
By the way, coming into this second drafting phase in this best of 3, Falcon have actually opted to stay on the same side. So they're still on blue side. There have been no swaps when it comes down to it. And as well, I'm wondering, do RQ once again want to go for another Hayabusa ban? Because so far it has been the same. Last time they banned out the Luo Yi from Falcon Esports side. Or do you think there are going to be some changes? Oh, there you go. Harith gets banned out first. So the Luo Yi is available. RQ, do they want to let that go? Or do they still want to use that last slot for Hayabusa?
Exactly. I think Falcon Esports are throwing the question at RRQ Hoshi. Especially if they ban the Harith. It's one of the only gold laners that has been able to actually lane in any real capacity against that Granger. And just like that, Falcon Esports identify the big factor. They go for the Granger. Now for RRQ Hoshi, I think they should be at least part of something they would consider. They knew that the Granger was critical in their victory for game number 1. If they were concerned about it being picked away or it being banned out, so what is the response? What is the counterplay here for them?
Yeah,
Luo Yi's
Luo Yi's still
open.
pretty much open right now, and to be fair, you can kind of counteract with that out with Valentina. But speaking of that, EVOS Holy against ONIC Esports, apparently Tebezet got the Luo Yi. That might be the reason why ONIC was scrambling.
I mean, Luo Yi, very impactful hero for sure. And in this meta, where there's a lot of big, tanky, beefy frontliners, there's a lot of fighters floating around.
Kayak Grangernya
the
pindah tangannya,
Yin-Yang
tapi
effect that we call the Luo Yi's passive that kind of
Rins
collides
dapat
them,
Luo
stuns
Yi
them
nih.
together, can be a game-changing factor as well.
Rins dapat Luo Yi, guys.
Jawhead. So very much still pick-off heavy for RRQ Hoshi, at least for now. For Falcon Esports, they're already showing now more frontline potential. For RRQ Hoshi, are they concerned about this being rounded out as a full Pokemon for Falcon Esports? Usually we see Sicilians show up here potentially. No, Valeric.
Well, they know what they're doing, and Falcon Esports has been playing a lot of Valerics over the course of the tournament right now. I wonder, Rashi, like the fact that Jawhead is very prominent in this meta, like wouldn't you think that Grok would kind of find some kind of usage here, or is it just really
lama
too
juga
much,
jedanya.
too little utility compared to other roamers?
Langsung digas nih.
In a way, I feel like the Jawhead doesn't really operate the same way. I mean, the Unstoppable Force, what makes it cool isn't the initial knockback, it's the fact that you can't really stop it,
SRG.
and it also does a decent amount of damage. I feel like the
Seru
extra
nggak sih?
value comes in from displacement of the
BTR
Jawhead,
SRG,
and
Cok.
also from the damage potential of the heat-seeking missile.
Tapi masih lama.
That way, the Jawhead
1
doesn't
jam
only
lagi.
pick off someone, because Franco can do that, right? But the Jawhead can also help your jungler clear faster, can also help with the pick-off potential, because the passive increases damage taken on their target
Kayaknya masih lama, guys.
about 10% at max stacks. So it's like a extra focusing mark. So in that sense, it doesn't really operate the same way a Grok does.
No, what I mean is like when the opponent's picking a Jawhead, you pick a Grok just to
my bad.
more safer push check. It looks like it's gonna be a carry. This is they're playing with fire, and the win
Hari
rate
keluar
just shows it. Why
dari
carry is
King
not really
Toy.
the greatest hero right now in terms of range. He's gonna get dominant with the Granger, so they might want to just either just completely concede.
Lupa
try to
ubah
play
ininya
as
kocak.
safely as possible,
Yaudah.
or maybe just help them out as much as
Udah mau
possible.
selesai juga
I
draftnya.
wonder if a Garokacha is gonna show up right here. It's a lot of magic damage and true damage coming in from RRQ Hoshi. But at the same time, having something aside from the Eternal Guard that can counter the clumping nature of the diversion, it could be an option they can explore. We'll really have to wait and see.
Oh,
CC, actually.
okay. Now, if you have a buddy in the XP laner, it's still gonna be a bad matchup either way. So 2 losing lanes for RQ Hoshi right now, maybe.
Kampret juga nih yang ngezoom-zoom, Cok.
Yeah, I feel like again, something with sustain or something
tos-tosannya,
tanky, right?
guys.
Against a comp like this with all the physical damage potential, because it's unlikely that the Vexana is gonna really all in, use all the spells for the main front line. But we'll have to see. I think Dairon likes having a bit more playmaking available to him in that lane. Well, he's just picking everything. What's
Which
going
is
on there?
what, right? Which is what? Hilda's banned out, Phobia
Lucas?
is banned out, Lucas is banned out,
Oh.
Blue is not an option.
Got it.
Boom,
Nice call,
sushi.
Alright.
I thought Falcon might want it, but maybe this is the way for Araki Hoshi to get behind. Remember? Because for Falcon Esports, they tried to send the Badang on a stealth mission on the back. But now for Araki Hoshi, worst comes to shove, the Avatar of the Garden can be placed right on top of Benny, and he can either be forced into the rest of the team, or he can actually, you know, just get zoned out of the whole fight.
I think the rotations are going to be very interesting from Araki Hoshi now that they have the Luoyi as well, right? Luoyi plus Jawhead in the early game. That's something that Falcon Esports need to consider. So,
Let's
ladies and
go,
gentlemen,
game
we're going
kedua.
to Sheffin as well as Arashi. Boys, take it away.
Ah, ini nggak
Already
kaku
one
nih.
match or one game secured for the
ini
King of
bagus.
Kings against
Nah.
Falcon Esports.
Tadi
Can they
kaku,
finish
kocak.
the job here in game number 2?
Anjay,
Further their
24.
chances to qualify
Udah menang
for
tuh
the next
2-0 tuh.
round in the challenge
45%
finals.
anjing.
The answer
Game
will be
kedua.
right now.
Let's go.
Let's look at Badang's
Badang, buset.
Some skill there. Of course, directed by
Michael Bay.
the man of explosions. SPS, ladies and gentlemen.
SPS.
Here we go. Now talking about the early matchup, I feel like lane control, wave clear is something that RRQ did really well. I mean, in game number 1, it allowed them to have the roam advantage. Remember, we saw Rins all over the place on the Farsa. Now with the low Yi, it's gonna take a bit longer, but once he gets to that level 4, we can expect even more dynamic
Carry
ways
dari
for him to
Toy ini
actually
ya.
gank his
Kita lihat ya.
teammates.
Okay, Edok will have I guess, a tougher time right now. The fact that
Asli ini
Miles
mah
has
spam
Katana against
jauh
Falcon
head anjing.
and his tracks. Meanwhile, Sushin just
Masih
gets
dapat,
away.
aman.
Rins might be in trouble.
Nice.
Flickers away out of the danger. Clutch.
Playing it a bit too close there, but Rins has never been the safest of mid laners. He always goes for some
Am
really
jauh ya,
risky
Edok ya.
plays right there. Has to be careful, man. Falcon Esports know how to punish playstyles just like that.
Udah lah, 2-0 bisa lah. Supaya 3 poin, guys.
Festival of Blood for the CC with the agility. It's all about that roam. And
Good
Master
X.
Assassin, no Festival of Blood for Benny in that lane actually. So no real sustain advantage. Oh, look at Kidex though.
Sebelah
Sushin
Soyo,
goes
iya.
in with electrifying beats. Just want to
Soyo
treat that
kan
with a
wajib pick kalau ada,
revitalize
guys.
as Rins
Kocak.
getting some good damage onto Fix and flicker away forward or for Edok. And there you go,
Edok.
the first kill for RQ Hoshi.
One of the best pickup artists, Edok there. Just always finding someone in the right moment. Falcon Esports, they have to make sure that the more vulnerable members don't walk up.
Hold on, Sushin is already
Aduh,
level
nggak bisa,
4.
nggak bisa,
Dax
nggak
is
bisa.
not though. Finally gets one right now. So a good job farming so far for Arki Hoshi and owning the jungle of Falcon Esports.
Now the level 1 fight, it's the sustain of the Hylas versus the
Jauh.
durability and sustain of the Gatot Kacha.
Ay,
I
lo.
personally favor the Gatot Kacha in this situation.
Jauh head lo, kocak
Technically, if
lo.
they're gonna go head to head, you know, just in a brawl, but we have to see, man. RRQ, they might be looking for a pickup attempt yet again using the Jawhead.
Interestingly, they prioritize Rince's ultimate more than Edok in this objective fight because Edok, I think, has more utility in this case. Right now, they're just poking it out while Mr. Susujin is on the other side.
He's stealing the purple buff away earlier. Might be the case.
Yep.
Falcon are trying to do something.
The other Guardian up by Tyrant trying to get Dax
Ya,
and he
nggak
gets with the
dapet, Cok.
retribution either way. Edox will get
Aduh,
chased
rugi
down
dong.
and killed out. Falcon Esports still want to collapse onto Rince, on towards
Yeah.
Tyrant as well, and that should be it. A 3-kill secured by Falcon Esports plus the turtle.
An all-in attempt from RRQ there, but Dax outplayed it.
Wah,
perfectly,
rugi banyak tuh,
dodging
Jir.
everything, securing that turtle.
Untung
You
Suzuki
know,
nggak mati anjing.
casually, no sweat at all. And RRQ Hoshi, after that initial all-in, their team isn't really good at moving backwards. So Rins and everyone else gets stuck there, gets trapped in the engage. That's where the glorious pathway just have
Ya,
so
masa
much more
dulu.
value.
2-0,
If your
2-0. Sabar
opponent
dulu, kocak.
probably
Sabar
find
dulu.
ways to disengage
Erling
there.
aja nih kurang nih.
Yeah, in a 5v5 battle, Jawhead is not really, you know, a force like a Hylos, a force like a big AoE machine out there, right? You gotta pick your target first before the teamfight even begins to kind of further your chances because of the man advantage. But right now we're gonna see here, Prince, the diversion might be going towards Royal Milk, and that's the target. Goodbye,
Harusnya mati.
Royal Milk, says RRQ.
This is something that Royal Milk, I think some
Kayak nice
I don't know
banget.
who it was who mentioned it, but
Sedikit
I
demi
heard
sedikit,
he-
guys.
someone mentioned that he's prone to really overextending, especially when he's on a strong hero, on those Phobiuses, on the CCs. When he wins, he makes bold plays, cuts waves, goes for the 1v1s, 1v2s even. But sometimes, right, that tendency can be exploited That could be what RRQ Hoshi were thinking, which is why they went for that EXP lane play. But for now, it's back to the slow game. And look at this. Whoa.
Wait, you're
Nggak bisa.
towards the bottom lane, but still has the turret aggro to guide him. Meanwhile, oh, he goes in Royal Milk. Might be what you said, Arashi. He's overextending once again, and Susujin gotta take the kill.
That's unfortunate, man.
Sujinnya 3-0
with a strong
3-0
comes
mantap
the
nih.
pressure of wanting to do more for your team, you know, get an advantage. Look at that immediate diversion. Oh,
Makan
Getting on
tuh.
towards 2, but still goes on
apalagi
either
nih,
way.
Cok.
It's PX7, and now RRQ might have a say on this turtle.
Victor of the Guardian still available for Dyron.
Darren gonna get pounced out by Benny, the Rhapsody, the Destina that connects on all of them. Kirex though, taps the Glorious Pathway and also Revitalize. Habit of Guardian on towards 1. Royal Milk might be in trouble, and he is in trouble. Meanwhile, Dex gonna get pounced on 2 by Sujin, and pretty much everyone from RQ's side. Rinse takes the triple, baby.
Rinse with the forward flicker, man. Again, not the safest of mid laners ever.
Main XP
But
gitu
this
sudah males.
PX7,
Okay, PX7
Ada yang
gonna get dove on
ketok-ketok.
by Sujin once
Emak
again.
gua kocak
It's
ketok-ketok emak
not
gua.
just trying to stop.
Mau
Meanwhile,
pergi
they're
emak
right in
gua,
the
mau
top
pergi,
lane,
kocak.
getting dove on by Edok. It might be a Uno reverse card here, Benny with the Rhapsody. Oh, the proc!
No!
Oh, Sky Piercer, but Toy wanna play with the flicker as well. RRQ, they love to flicker forward.
Gitu dong.
wow, man. Apparently bullets do work against robots. But the response from Toy there, that was some calculation, man. It's basically an all-in into a fadeaway. That's some math coming out of Toy, showing some class. But for RRQ Hoshi, from a 2k gold deficit, now they're at an advantage.
Apa sih lu?
And this is dangerous, man. They have the
Makan,
diversions,
makan
they
apa?
have so many tools available to dive turrets to try and make life difficult for Falcon Esports. And here we go again.
Okay, Royal Milk this time learns the lesson. It looks like he gets the memo here, the fact that Sujin is
Aduh,
already in the
itemnya-
bottom lane, but can he actually evade from this one, though, Revitalize, or
Lihat tuh
Legends already
Edok.
pops out,
Nah,
and
itu
Edok
tang
with a
idaman
good
guys.
aggro
Dan
tank
ikut
for the
verdi.
turret.
Enggak lah kocak.
Clean execution, and Royal Milk just is not having a good time, dude. The crosshairs of RRQ is definitely right dead
Diam
and
dulu, main
center
dulu,
onto
main
him.
dulu. Ini
And for now,
fokus
at
dulu
least,
ke game
no
kocak lu.
response just yet.
Diam
There was a
dulu.
cut attempt by Falcon Esports on the top side, but with the response,
Diam dulu,
with
diam dulu.
Darren standing near
2-0 nih,
the
2-0.
initial objective,
Udah kebalik nih, duitnya kocak.
because he can actually reach the top lane using the Avatar of the Guardian.
Aduh.
Look at this.
Oh,
Aduh.
Glorious Pathway on towards Rinse. He's in trouble. That's not, I will not be able to get
Nice.
him down just yet. He can recall away quite safely. You know what I noticed, Arashi? The fact that Toy is having a good time in the gold lane is pretty unacceptable, especially when
Oke,
you play
Toy udah
Ranger.
golden.
Well, with so much pressure, I think it's just difficult. But look at this, Kirex.
Kirex.
Oh!
Oh, what a dodge
Whoosh!
from Benny, or that was a
Miss,
mistake
miss,
from
miss.
Edok. He's gonna pay the
Edok
price.
na miss,
Was
guys.
Royal Milk finally getting a kill. Now Suchijin in the front line, trying
Dapat,
to do
nice.
kill the turtle, and he gets
Tukar
it.
satu ya, tukar satu,
Beautiful
tukar satu.
execution coming in from Mr. Suchijin.
Tukar satu.
That's the scary thing about Edok, dude. You see him do one thing, and all of a sudden he pivots almost instantly. That could have been even more catastrophic for Falcon Esports. But overall, RRQ were able to zone Dax away, and we've seen this. When Dax gets
Anjir,
zoned
udah
out,
snowball banget nih
it's
Sujin
difficult. He doesn't seem to
504
operate
guys.
well under all the pressure, and RRQ are making sure that they take full advantage of it. But they might lose a turret on the bottom side.
504 enggak tuh?
Okay, no, there's a diversion there from Rinse as well. Looks like Kirex did not know it. World goes in, might be in trouble. Only 3 guys from RQ that can punish this one compared to 4 or 5 even from Falcon Esports. But look at the top lane, Arashi. Oh, I thought there was a lane there, and Suchijin could take the tower, but no.
Yeah, not enough minions so far. But Sutsujin, again, showing that farming speed from the Joy. Already 7,000
Ntar malam.
Toy.
Ngentot lu.
Matching up, as you mentioned, Shevin, against a Granger. Against
Agak
one
bisa
of the
joy gua
meta
kocak.
strong gold laners. That's definitely not ideal for Falcon Esports. They've already been struggling with the damage coming through from Sutsujin and from Rinse on that low Yi. Now with Toy scaling up even further, it's looking quite dangerous. No one can stand in the front. Their main tank is a Hylas that can be shredded down immediately.
Lihat Rins, lihat Rins. Miss
Diversion,
cok.
though, Tyron. Oh, there you go. The surprise play
Ah.
coming in from Edok and Cruz. Suchijin going crazy in the top lane, or
PX,
in the front
nice.
line with the electrifying beats.
Hylos
but
ah,
get
makan.
caught up with the strings coming in from Royal Milk. Toydo going crazy too. The speedy light wheel getting 4 kills for
Ini
RQ
dong.
Hoshi.
That was an insane fake out, dude. They showed the avatar of the Guardian. It seemed like he messed up. It seems like Dyron missed it. And Falcon Esports move in to capitalize. And out of the bushes on their own side, the whole team pops up. Benny stood no chance, dude. He got he got taken out almost instantly. The fact that the low Yi is in this game is just so difficult. The movement is one thing, but the fact that the Rinse can stand in the front and tank some damage using the shielding is just so good. And now with Toy on curve, look at how fast they can take Lords, man.
This is not
Oke.
how it's supposed to be. Falcon Esports
Mantap.
right now, they are over but beyond the end of it once again.
Royal Milk!
RQ needs some milk and they're getting
Kikinya
it.
kagak
Edok,
dikasih
though,
main,
getting
guys.
by 4 people.
Oh, no way.
Guardian 2 is kinda just to
Anjir.
tether the engage towards Edok.
Rusuh
Gets
banget.
the ejector. No, actually, so she didn't try to get some kills onto some of the members of Falcon Esports, and Benny was able to flick
Nice.
her way over the wall for Falcon.
2-0 nggak sih,
An
bro?
improvised play by RRQ. Edok was able to
Mendongkrak
actually buy enough time
klasemen
and
ini,
they
bos,
turned that
sumpah.
pick-off into an equal trade. Man, RRQ are playing real solid, but more than anything, Falcon Esports, they're losing control of the game, dude. We said that they required more
Siapa tadi
to
pilih
win
yang
game number
2-0
two, but they're
Falcon
losing
menang, anjing.
everything. The jungle control, the vision control,
kenapa lagi
even their
laptop bocor?
formation, they have no idea how to position right now because they can't possibly predict how the divergence is going to be used.
Whoa, 2 dashes from Susujin, and Dax is already half HP. Royal Milk taking a lot of beating from the front-to-back potential of
Siapa
Rinse.
tripoting
And look at
2-0
that. Oh
Falcon
my God.
ngentoy.
Gotta watch out, Royal Milk.
Kocak banget.
Gonna have to recall back and RQ. They won this mid turret or just trying to take the holy shield away from Falcon Esports.
A solid defense overall by Falcon Esports. They have ways to clear for sure, but oh, look at that.
Anjir.
Oh,
Okay, they're trying to disengage here. RQ, but
Makan nggak sih?
what a play coming in
Ketek
from
siya.
Edok as well.
Nice.
Susujin also gets the kill. Toy also
Mati
joins
dua,
the
mati
party
dua.
for RQ. They're not gonna stop just yet, or
Oh, nggak mau,
no,
nggak mau,
they're
nggak
actually
mau.
gonna
Aman, aman, aman.
regroup. Try to
Main aman dulu, guys.
be a bit more
Tyrant?
careful
Ambil
about
midnya
it.
nggak sih,
but
bro?
yeah. When you're up with that much gold, you have that privilege, Rashi.
I guess you do. I mean, RQ is showing it.
Oh,
But they're doing a lot of advanced
Oke, malah
stuff
pick
here.
gun.
That was a
Toy.
diversion to kind of zone. Oh man, Royal Milk is not a frontliner, dude. He is not relevant in the realm of damage
Lihat nggak
tagging.
sih? Damage
that's
Susujin
a
anjing.
dash and dash from Susujin, and it's already half HP.
11,000
Gelo.
lead for RQ Hoshi, man. That's ridiculous. And again, with so much
Bos
threat
muter-ketir.
available to
Enggak
them.
lah, kan
Oh,
kemarin
man.
masih sampai
Gotta say the
Masih
clear
kalah
edge
sama
of
EVOS,
Mercy
kocak.
or Kid X. Not even. That was Rinse, Tyron, and Edok.
Yeah.
No carry, not Susujin.
Nope.
And they took down the horsey.
It's all
sakit
wins
batu
with the
dari
damage
range-nya,
boost
guys.
from Edok, and that's what they can do.
Gelo banget.
That's what frontliners amount to right now for Falcon Esports. So the pickoff potential is just even more threatening than game number 1. And again, the diversions, they're used to flank, they're used to rotate, and earlier, it's
Tuker
just
jungler,
used in
begini.
the middle of the base, completely visible, and Falcon Esports are forced to respect it due to the gold difference. Man,
Yes, this is why the Luoyi is such a prio pick. Even Debezet was able to utilize that earlier.
Nice.
Rinse actually used a Impure Rage. Debezet earlier used a, I believe, is that a photo?
that's a photo
Anjing,
in
sakit
the
banget
hands
sih
of
itu,
Rinse.
Susujin,
He
guys.
wants some beefiness,
Oh,
man.
that was a misclick apparently, Rashi.
Oh, was it?
No, he sold that right away.
He sold it right away? I thought he was
Berarti kemana
trying
dah?
to increase his
Pindah tim
shielding,
kali.
man. Just gonna be right in the middle of all the action. But more than that, Toy already has the Malefic gun. I don't know at which point he had it built up.
Oke,
but
ini
if it's
kemungkinan
recent, the
N-nya
next fight should be
80% lah.
even more difficult for Falcon
Kemungkinan
Esports.
N-nya
And look at
80%,
Royal Milk.
guys.
Finally.
He has no liberty to actually itemize for Toy. When he's level 14 and approaching his final 2 items, he's still forced to reckon with the 6 and 1 low Yi in the hands of Rinse.
And I believe Susujin so far does not have a Divine Cliff just yet.
Oh, look at
Rinse,
this.
the diversion, Edok, trying to conceal, trying to put some
Nggak
pressure
kedenger ya?
towards Falcon Esports, and they're just gonna take the turret without any contestant
Bocor
whatsoever.
banget tuh Kid
Tyrant,
X.
gotta watch out, man.
Lordnya masih ada?
Sometimes you can
Nunggu
overextend
mid
with
kah?
this much lead. But right now, Lord is marching towards the top lane. Can they do something about this one? Falcon
Oke, mid
Esports,
bisa
they have
masuk, guys.
decent wave player with the Granger and also with the Vixana. But can they actually defend this one? One more wave coming in, and then
Siapa tuh yang
lane,
dapat? Aduh, Edok.
flickers forward. Avatar Guardian does not connect towards anyone.
Aduh,
It only
blunder
connects
kah?
towards Natalia. Fatherless will
Ah,
not be able to
ngentot.
help Tyron at all. Rin still dealing a lot of
Nggak
damage.
bisa, nggak
but
bisa, nggak
RQ
bisa. Masih bisa
probably
defense.
just wanna go back to their base and regroup.
Respectable attempt right there, but Edok spent
Aduh, jangan
quite
kekambik
a
lagi
while
dong.
getting terrified,
Halo,
getting
Kang Najib.
slow, looking for the right choice. It's a bit too long though. In the base of your opponents, valuable seconds wasted right there.
Excuse me?
Oh, what is
Okay.
that? Okay, see, that's a scouting diversion. It's not really only
Ini udah
used
snowball banget
to
sih.
set up for plays. Now without the main frontliners though, RRQ taking it easy. And Falcon Esports though, trying to find something.
Oh, do they want to defend this one?
Anjir,
Oh, they
maksa,
actually
anjir.
did! Rinse with the ricochet there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
will try to
Oh, yo.
chase. That's a Farsi. That's pretty much everyone on Falcon Esports. Electrifying beats on towards 5 members of Falcon Esports.
King Toy, King Toy.
SPX7 might be
Nice, King Toy.
going down towards the speedy light wheel of
Anjir,
Toy.
satu doang
That
dapat
was a
guys.
3v5, or even 1v5 by Susujin. What?
Crazy mechanics. And I don't know, man, the audacity to just go for that. No PX7 available right now. RRQ Hoshi is an angle.
Aduh, kena CC mulu edoknya. Itu mati tuh.
But the immortality procs for
Wah,
Ida. One
ini
more kill
loh.
towards Susujin,
Waduh,
but it's gonna go
Susujinnya.
down towards the
Mati.
bullets already.
Aduh, kaget
But
tuh.
can they actually finish
Enggak sih?
this one?
King
Toy's
Toy,
gonna
King Toy,
focus
King
on
Toy.
towards the base, and RRQ will take the series
Let's go, 2-0. Mana
against
tadi yang
Falcon
2-0?
Esports.
Lucky Charm. Lucky Charm Arashi.
Kalau 2-0 masih bisa lolos kah? Ya masih lah, kemarin yang kalah aja masih bisa, kocak lu. Apalagi ini menang 2-0, kocak.
They do want to make it into the
Nice.
playoff stage, but man, I gotta ask, what is
Beli
this
friendly,
personal
kan?
vendetta against Royal Milk?
Sebelum pergi, tinggalkan like dulu guys. Bantu guys ya. Tinggalkan like ya sebelum pergi, meninggalkan kursi kalian.
Man.
For royalty.
Oh,
wait,
Tinggalkan
you're right.
like-nya guys. Bantu guys ya.
Guys.
man, I was wondering like what even is a royal milk? But apparently it only serves
Kalau
towards
nonik aja
the
ngentoy
kings.
lu.
That was
Man.
brutal.
Malam ini ya?
though. I mean, he was not having a good time at all. The fact that the
Mabar lagi
diversion
apa?
is also there did not make his life any easier. Man, out of nowhere, dude. It really seemed like, okay, this is the moment. Right, there's a window here. Falcon pushes out. And then immediately they got chased back all the way to the base.
Which is why it was so surprising, right? Because if you take a look at the stats earlier on, Falcons, they have a tendency to ban out the Luo Yi.
Kayaknya masih
And yet,
lama ini guys
they
habis
left
itu.
it open. They wanted to gamble with a Hayabusa pick
Udah selesai
or
kayaknya,
ban
bos.
coming through.
Nang kalah
And in
bebas.
the end, they chose Granger over Luo Yi,
Selesai, yes,
allowing
iya,
Rince to
Cok.
get his hands on it. And that's one of his,
Satu-satu
power
Onik.
picks,
Onik
I
nggak
would
sih?
say,
Kita
during
nonton Onik nggak sih,
MPL.
bro?
Well, if you can't beat the front to back, you better make sure
Satu-satu
that there is
anjing.
no front and there
Sama
is no
Epos.
back. Just have everything in absolute chaos.
The gold lead from Susujin towards Dax.
Cool Free Fire. Menangkan total hadiah.
Nyari takjil,
dengan
kocak lu.
meriah. Beli sekarang. Rambutku hitam berkilau. Emerald Shampoo Black Shine baru dengan argan oil infused.
Pas nih abis ini nih, abis ini.
Nah,
Nah, anjir satu-satu guys. Namanya ML iklannya. Gak usah ganti thumbnail lah ya, kita bentar doang ini.
but I think in this case they knew.
Nontonnya.
They knew what
Kita nonton Nerki aja nanti.
They were sort of just like, wait, this is not what we
Iklannya
prepared
FF.
for.
So let's just do it all over again. Let's put some random guy into first pick. How about that?
Savero.
Let's go fail first pick now.
I think Eve is a lot more universal
Yeah.
as a
Buset
first pick.
Kairi,
Okay,
baru
so
lihat gue
Is
cok.
that like is that planned? Like a
It was not planned, but I gotta use
Rambut
that.
Kairi pirang gitu, papinya belum keluar nih.
This guy really is out of this world when it comes down to his puns. It just doesn't sound right with me, right?
No, you know what? I'll give you that one. That was pretty good.
Semoga nggak lama nih anjing.
I wanted something today. I want something today, and I'm happy
Ya,
about
dan itu.
that. I may not have the words of wisdom, but at least I got something. Even
He's
though
got jokes.
I got some.
I mean, you know who else won something? ONIC no longer has 0% blue side win rate.
That is right. Yeah.
That is their first
Jamur,
win on
anjing.
blue side. Let's get a
Oh, jadi
flag.
jamur, cok.
W's in the shot.
Debuts in the how. Okay. It kind of looks like a bad
20-40 jam 8:30.
Yeah,
That's a
W's in the
W.
RRQ ONIC.
W's in the shot. And, well, I wanted to do like that.
Oke.
But it's okay. I think
Which
it's kind
Gen
of
Z thing?
We do not need to go.
Setengah 9 malam berarti.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is two
Berarti
games
mulai sana tuh
and
collab
that is
nanti
definitely
jam
great. We'll be moving on to the third game.
20-30 oke lah.
Between
Sampai kita main ML nanti, Cok.
Which one
Oke.
of these two teams is going to get themselves a game in the bag? We will find out right after this short break. See you guys in a bit.
Ganti judul lah. Gak usah lah. Berapa menit nih? 2 menit. Tungguin. Lagu gua aja kocok lu. Tunggu. Logo ONIC jadi gitu ya? Ada perisanya? EVOS 21 mulu. Oke, kita akhiri voting. Votingnya udah menang RRQ, guys. Neng konteng 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 teng konteng 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 konteng. Satu menit doang, guys. Aman. Let's go voting EVOS. Oleh. Tapi udah orangnya udah kagak ada kocak nih. Udah nggak RRQ yang nonton pergi. Ya kan judul sama thumbnailnya RRQ kocak. Tembak menang. EVOS ONIC. Sip. Thumbnail sama judulnya kan RRQ. Jadi ya udah kita sambung dikit aja nih. Ini kan game terakhir juga nih, EVOS ONIC. Iya kan? Buset, langsung voting ONIC tuh siapa tuh? Nah, balik lagi, aman aja. Bentar. Season 15 banyak godline baru nggak sih? Kayaknya bukan baru sih, yang dari MDL ke MPL kocak. Bukan baru. Itu 50 nih. Dari MDL ke MPL. Kita masih ke mute Jira ya, Esl. Sabar lu, kocak belum drop. Lignas juga ada, iya. Tapero itu Lignas kah? Yang dari ONIC itu? Nah, drop.
Esports, Hayabusa and Harif on over to EVOS only.
Okay.
Okay, very quickly here. We already see that the bans are much more default, right? The Eve is banned out by EVOS, ONIC gets rid of Granger and Lo Yi. They go for the Suyo first
Setengah gitu, bro.
time, but besides that, Phobius and Moskov is still the same, since we do see the Haya and Harif opening from EVOS once again.
For EVOS, Haya, Harith. What are they gonna go for next, right? Like
Ah.
last time, was it the Hylos here? Or was
Hard
it the-
M1 keluar.
No, it was the Hylos here, right?
I think,
Yeah.
I
Last
think,
time it was the
yeah,
Hylos.
Last time, I think it was the Hylos. And right now, it is still a relatively safe pickup
I think it's a good pickup, right? Usually if you see the high-lows, you're going to be concerned that, okay, maybe the CC comes in later, but there's no CC. Their Phobius is already picked up.
Farsa nih,
Go for the
PPZ.
Farsa instead. So they're trying to match up that range, or trying to get the range advantage this time. So they're trying to play what ONIC used in Game 2 to their own style with Farsa, and they banned the Eve. So there you go. That's not Eve. That pick is just... It's Farsa, Farsa, not Eve. Eve is not Farsa.
So far, Valentina hasn't been banned, and it has been picked for both games.
Do we want to do it again? Valentina 0% win rate right now.
Yeah, I think we're probably not going to see Valentina here, I think.
You never know. That's what we said about Game 1.
I mean, okay, Badang is still a possibility.
We're definitely not going to see Valentina.
Definitely not.
Okay.
I was like thinking, if we see Valentina, it'll be the steal the feathered airstrike.
Yeah.
EVOS Holy just says like, no, we're not going to let that happen. But the heroes that are more worth considering are like Jahid, which was already banned out. Then like there's still Matilda on the board, Badang is still on the board, Gatot, Hylos are both still on the board.
And usually when you ban the Valentina, you're setting up for a big ultimate. Tigreal may come through this time around, right?
Or Lucas.
Okay, yep.
Lucas could be, but they already have a Phobius.
Enggak
So
ikutan aja.
I think maybe Lucas
Nggak laku kocak, nggak banyak
still a possibility.
ininya.
Still go for it. Just gotta be careful once Phobius hits level 4.
What else would they be
Jarang make
considering
kalau di
at
turnamen.
this point?
Most of the big boys are not even drafted yet. With
Halit.
Esports being the only one
Shadow
that picked up the
Maybe the
Phobius.
Gatot is banned here.
Gatot.
Unless EVOS wants to pick it themselves.
Coach Acil ya.
Gatot is something that EVOS believe.
Adi maksudnya.
I think, yeah, exactly.
Wah,
I think
Acil
ONIC
anjing.
are the ones that have to ban the Gatot here against EVOS, because for ONIC they have 3 physical damage dealers, and that's going to be very, very good for the Gatot on the other side. So they're the ones to ban the Gatot. EVOS Holy now. I think the Tig is should be the right answer, right? Against the Phobius, against the Suyo, both not going to have Purify.
Funny thing though, we are always kind of calling for Tigreal, but he almost never comes out.
I think because so far they've been better options, right? Well, in game number 1, I think the Gatot.
Gak kenal Acil kontol.
In game number
Itu
2,
Evil kah? Yang coach baru EVOS itu? Iya kan?
Kiboy got a pick early in game number 2, right? Was it the Gatot? Oh,
Evil kan itu?
He played Gatot game 2, so honestly he can
better
play it
options.
again.
Better
Right?
options.
Gatot
Yang
counters,
coach baru EVOS.
Yeah,
it's banned. What am I saying? So the high-lows goes through.
So no Jawhead.
Baru nonton gue soalnya.
No Gatot.
Kemarin mah dikit-dikit doang nontonnya.
Oh, please don't pick Badang.
You could
Yeah.
go back to the classic Kufra. You know?
They could go Aurora Cho here. You know?
Aurora Cho
Yeah,
sounds
Cho's not
good.
bad.
Cho, I like it.
Cho is good. Kufra is an option for the Hari Farsa.
And Haya. Okay.
Yep, there we
Cho?
All right.
There we go.
Go do it. Just get that Tigreal key. El Momento time, bro.
El Momento anjay, El
I
Momento.
like the Tigreal here. I think Tigreal is a very good option. Is probably not quite as good at roaming compared to the Cho in terms of rotation, but team fight setup is going to be way cleaner
And
coming in from EVOS.
Please don't go Badang again, man. I mean, you can,
I mean, if
but
you
at
don't
max
put
speed,
Badang is good, EXP.
it's like no Badang roam, please. They're thinking
High
about
loss
it.
roam, how good is
thinking
that
about it,
for
they're
this
thinking
one?
I think it's good. I think it's solid. Like you don't have the Farsa, right? You just need someone in front to stun and DOT and heal. I think it's good.
8:30 RRQ lagi.
Well,
But do you need to?
ONIC ID guys.
two are actually still here.
They go
But
Lucas.
Actually,
Alright, go.
Lucas.
Alright.
Okay.
So very big
Lucas,
there you
let's go.
Despite going up against Phobius, they still decide to go for Lucas. I guess thinking they already have a glorious pathway, so it kind of sets up already really well for the Lucas. Just get the movement speed and beast mode in, you know, get that Randafa going.
Yup, get that Ren.
Beast
Game ketiga.
If only Randafa is here with us.
He will be.
Yeah, he will be for the big game.
The B.I.G.
Game ketiga. Let's go.
Now, of course, speaking of big game, this one is a pretty big game in my books as well. As the Sky Kings going up against the Dark Horse comes down all the way to the T.
Ah, kaku tuh.
This is literally
Kopinya kaku anjir.
game that we gotta have to see for this very
Bejir,
season
pos
itself.
volley.
Down the wire, which team would it be to be
Anjay,
able to get
Harit.
themselves yet another point in this group
Another
stage?
point.
Would it be ONIC Esports or would it be EVOS Holy for the Kingdom?
Whoa, Badang! Oh my goodness, now that's new! Punching the sky to reveal the Snapdragon Pro Series logo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an absolute banger of a game, because at this point, every match in Group B will be a banger. Every game, we don't know who's going to the knockout stage from Group B, and it's all
lebih kecil
in
gitu
the
ya
hands
suaranya.
of Esports and EVOS Holy. Their fates need to be sealed right here. Do they go and win, or is it a 1-point unlucky for them?
Aman.
Turns out this whole time, Group B's for banger, right? As these teams just want to bring it all the way to the finish line. Looking at the emblem setups right now, nothing too out of the ordinary. Reggie actually going for concussive blast with vengeance here, so no brace bite, just going straight up for lane clear.
King
as
Erlan
well as straight up
versus Sapero ya.
so that he is able to form the secondary front line for EVOS Holy.
For Badang as well, maybe, right? We've been seeing a whole lot of Badang.
True, true.
Lethal take. Goes for the Surge too. Has already committed the Retribution, but knows he has the advantage when it comes to just level 3. Will walk up onto Albert. Another Queller, and oh, Albert is the one who picks it up, I believe.
But it looks like Kyrie actually still has that slight EXP advantage thanks to the Suyo clear speed. So things are still pretty even for now. In terms of lane priority we're looking at here, I think the mid lane prio is actually more even this game, so we shouldn't see either side having just straight up superior rotations, but Reggie now in trouble.
Yeah. Oh,
Reggie?
there you go, Lucas. Getting bullied by the Phovius.
Ini Choki boy nih.
But you added Cho
Ki
in.
boy.
Double bully now. So much pressure, so much tempo on the in the first few minutes for Cho in the mid lane. That was Heat.
Ayah lepas ya tapi.
Sun Shunpu away from 1. Now goes back in, and Suns should be able to get level 4 with Lippy.
Albert trying to look to steal this, but there's so many members of ONIC here at the Turtle Pit.
Queller charged in, Retribution on point from Kyrie. Reggie walks up. Lippy. Pursuit.
Reggie?
Be able to walk away still. Keyboy, no level 4 just yet. Vengeance already paid.
Harusnya mati sih.
Will use it, but still, it's too much damage from Kai Lutby. Ooh, flicker forward there. Deppes at good wings by wings to escape from it, and it's an orange buff take on top of a turret.
Ricky bisa lihat nih gamenya nih.
And this is kind of an issue that we have seen with Lucas throughout SPS, right? He can be very effective in displacing and being a secondary frontliner, but once you're in, you're not usually going to have much of a way out. I think if he used the Vengeance earlier, maybe he could have survived a little longer, but it wouldn't have made much difference in the end, as ONIC already had full control over the Turtle Pit, some great positioning from... Oh, and that's the Soul Sever, right? Suyo has so much inbuilt damage that even heroes like Hylos have difficulty dealing with him.
Oh, Keyboy! Great kick!
Keyboy! Anjay.
Did they just read
Albert
that out?
dong.
Did he scout Albert before?
Kena dong. Ada snowball sih ONIC sih.
That's just classic Keyboy right there.
That's just Keyboy.
He hasn't been having the most consistent performance in SPS, but when he shines, boy, does he burn bright. Catching out Albert on his rotation, getting the kick right in place, and even giving an assist to Savero to help him get some extra gold instantly. We see ONIC already having that 1.5k lead before the 4-minute mark. So this is one of the biggest gold advantages we've seen so far in this series. And ONIC is going to want to continue building up on that. Keyboy on this show is very clearly out-rotating Key right now.
And you can see, even the observers want you to pay attention on Keyboy here. To Keyboy. Turtle number 2 spawning in 10 seconds. Kyrie securing the Hunter Strike. And for EVOS Holy, I don't know. Again, with the high-lows, you do have ways to move on the map, similar to the Cho. But again, for me, I really
Gak di kontes ya, harusnya udah beda 2 level. Kyrie sama Albert.
He's been very passive on the high low, so the turtle will be taken from by Kyrie. No contest. It's a straight down below. Savero in the back spot gets taken down. Keyboy walks up. Deficit flickers away. Now kick back under concussive blast. Keyboy might be able to get the assassination. Shunpu out of the way, still stunned up and taken down by Erlan. So the turtle gets straight into the kills.
I like the choice here that was made by EVOS. It's very textbook MLBB. You're not able to contest the neutral objective, so you could try to make something happen on the opposite side of the map instead. Slowing down Savero, even managing to pick up Keyboy and saving Deficit with a really nice entrance timing from the high-lows. Glorious pathway, keeping the Farsa topped up with the Revitalize meant that ONIC could no longer prolong that fight. This is the way that EVOS needs to approach this game, right? They already know for sure they don't have EXP lane priority. I can't believe Key didn't get cancelled there. But yes, EVOS has ways of responding. They just gotta continue playing the map in this way.
And for ONIC, it is back to winning some neutral objectives then. Conceal.
Keyboy.
Clean with it. And the follow-up is there from Sans. Frigid Glacier, a free pickoff on Depazet.
The Farsa used to flying, but not usually at someone else's command. As Keyboy is able to find a really nice target. Deficit saw him, couldn't even respond in time. We have to note, the Farsa did go for Flicker over the Purify.
Emang GG aja nih Keyboy cowoknya.
It's a lot easier for the Cho to be able to catch her.
Beda 2 level sih Kairi sama Albert. 3 level nih.
Hold that position to stop Reggie from walking up. Actually, he does let Reggie walk up. He knows that Kairi will still be able to get a turret, no problem. And now they can rotate down below. Kairi 3 levels ahead of Albert.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up if you didn't. Level 11, he's literally 3 levels ahead of everyone else in the game. Kairi is farming so fast off of that early lead that he was given. Already has the War Axe. I'm pretty sure that's like his second item after the Hunter Strike as well. Make that 4 levels now.
Oh my lord.
This is the biggest jungle gap I have seen in a while.
You're right, man. Now
Let Keyboy.
Have to go for Jikundo now. Jumping again, Luke P. Infernal Pursuit. Turtle gets resetted. Erlan pops into Zaman Force now as Key walks up. Feather Airstrike faded out. Luke P flickers out of that zone. Kairi Immortal form taking some damage, but it's the damage reduction. Keyboy walking back again with a conceal.
Langsung ditutup anjir.
Erlan together.
Shutdown.
Trying to cut away from
dibalikin.
Now it's Avero who joins in with the SOD.
Averonya free.
That's a stun on the Luke P. And Albert secures the turtle. Keyboy walking back. Luke P isolated.
Anjay, dibalikin bro.
I was already preparing myself to say that ONIC is taking this fight so smartly, right? The disengage, the timing is good. Wow. But Reggie, in a single fell swoop, disrupts their positioning entirely. We mentioned Lucas can have his weaknesses, but he also has some strengths to make up for it. That flash combo pushing away 2 key members of ONIC and bursting them down to half HP, letting Albert finish off Kairi with the Ogi Shadow kill, immediately boosts him up 2 levels, narrows the gold difference to nothing for ONIC Esports, and that's just how quickly the game can swing nowadays. Kairi, he still has the EXP advantage, but ONIC Esports now actually does need to respect their positioning in these neutral standpoints.
And also, it's the fact that EVOS were able to bring Lutpi to the back. Once Lutpi went in, you can see a clear split in the team fight. And if, again, the Lucas doesn't get matched up by the Phobias, it'll be very easy for Lucas to just dive in onto the rest of the team, right? You saw that earlier. Kairi couldn't really respond properly to the Lucas, and again, Lutpi wasn't really able to create the same impact as Lucas if they're split up. I think the Phobias now for Lutpi, he needs to try to adapt in a way where he plays together with the team.
Udah mulai kebalik nih ininya. Goldnya guys.
To disrupt the all-in of Lucas.
GG juga nih
The
Pos.
job of Reggie and Lutpi in this game are kind of similar.
Satu momen dong loh. Akhirnya ke shotdown.
Just buy as much time as possible from multiple members, right? So Lutpi up until now, his job has basically been to target Erlan or Albert if possible. But now, as you mentioned, Rico, he might need to pay a bit more attention
Dari yang
to
snowball banget
Reggie
loh padahal
specifically to make sure that the Lucas isn't able to funnel ONIC into a tight spot the same way as before.
GG juga.
They cannot afford for something like that to happen again because the goal lead is
Pamit
all
dulu, mau mandi gua. Oke, makasih ya udah mampir ya.
that they basically haven't had since the
Malam lagi kita malam.
Keyboy again with conceal, goes into the back, that gets kicked back, there's no follow-up though. Frigid Glacier goes wide, Keyboy taking down Reggie on the other side, able to go and bait out some skills, but in the end still gets soul severed by Kairi despite the vengeance. 1-for-1, Keyboy for Reggie. Ends up being worth it for EVOS. Holy, but Lutpi opens it up again. Now jumping with Infernal Pursuit. Able to get sustained down, and that's a free lead out to Albert by Sans. Shadow kill though, still comes through. Albert very low, gets taken down. Now it's a Zaman Force. Erlan trying to make the most out of the situation. SOD, the pin down. Santo gets the pin for Sans to secure a triple kill.
So many things just happened right there. The fight started with Keyboy trying
Gelo Sapero, tapi kagak dapat kill ya.
Stick around, continue taking the fight, but without their frontliner,
Sannya malah ini.
And Keyboy,
Anjir.
he's got a personal like vendetta against Jeppes, that every single time he sees the Farsa, it's a kick to the face.
I mean, K-Boy, he sees Deposit without Purify and he takes it as a personal attack, you know? You think I'm not gonna punish you for not respecting the way of the dragon here? And that's exactly what's happening.
Way of the dragon here.
Feel for what Sans was experiencing in Game 1. The moment you get anywhere remotely close to ONIC, your life is forfeit. And Sans looking a lot more comfortable now as well. 4-0-4 on the Aurora, able to stand in the backline and continue freezing and setting up. EVOS Holy has good burst damage, but they're not able to control the team fight well enough because Sans is just a consistent thorn in their side.
Mid lane turret siege for ONIC Esports. T-Boy, no flicker just yet, but it will be up in just a bit. Kyrie constantly putting the pressure down with the poke. Erlan finally securing the Holy Crystal 11 minutes in. Lord up top, Holy Defenses have been popped in. I don't believe the top side Holy Defenses, but actually it has by just the minions. So still for ONIC, they're trying to just shove it in. So two Holy Defenses popped already, and I think for ONIC, that will mark the end of the siege.
The end of the siege, but the beginning of the end for EVOS Holy. Those Holy defenses are very important for being able to hold later waves, which are going to get just tankier and tankier.
Oke sih, masih bisa defense sih, pos sih.
They're already lacking damage at this stage. We're 12 minutes in. ONIC still sitting on a very comfortable 5k gold lead. Malefic Gun just completed on Savero, so now it's even easier for him to be part of the fight.
Triple contest here. They really want to give Alpha this triple buff, but I don't think it's possible. Erlan has the demonic force proc on him, but there's no way Litpi takes that. It's just additional pressure put in. And again for the focus,
Keyboy.
Build more of just Keyboy.
Ulti.
For Jika, gets the way the dragon. Is it gonna be followed up for Glacier? Sans finds the angle.
Gila Sans.
Down Litpi. Now holding Reggie back, stunned by the surge. Not frozen though. He gets away with the anti-CC.
Masih bisa di follow option sih.
But still Albert is down.
Gila banget anjir.
That is the epitome of experience and faith. Keyboy baiting out the Ogi Shadow kill, going for the kick regardless of angle, knowing his team is there.
Vengeance
Savero.
is still down Sans! The glowing one tick gets him down. Now 6-0-4.
ONIC Esports looked at EVOS. They thought that they were in a comfortable spot after winning Game 1, and Sans is just saying, hey, chill out, guys. We're still here to play.
Gel ONIC, guys.
ONIC Esports has just too much teamfight control. They have too much burst. Their lead is massive. BOD completed for Kyrie as well. I don't know if EVOS Holy has what it takes to be able to return this game anymore. Their course is... Oh, hold on.
Losing immortality for the airstrike down. Glorious Pathway gets placed in as well to slow him down for the Feather airstrike to deal more damage, but Keyboy flickers out in time. Now, EVOS holding control. They've used quite a bit of resources here. 3 ultimates down, so they cannot push on forward despite getting Keyboy to recall.
That's 3 ultimates spent just to kill the immortality on the enemy.
Immortality.
You have to imagine just how that really looks from an objective standpoint, right? EVOS Holy, they're very behind. They do have the damage, but they gotta take their initiation so carefully. Keyboys thus far has been dictating the pace of every single engagement. Key now trying to get in some of the action.
Saman forcing the airstrike again, but this time it is baited out again. 3 ultimates. Key, Erlan, Depezet will have to move back. Kyrie charging the surge. Keyboy, Jikundo. Shenfu back. Key forced to recall. Litpi at half.
You can tell ONIC
belum ada mati tuh Sans.
They're not showing any signs.
Tapi belum ada kill sih Savero, Cok.
Very comfortable, very disciplined. They
Sans mulu yang dapat.
have to force things to happen. They can just wait.
Oke, lumayan free Lordnya.
Forcing them to use resources, waste cooldowns when they really don't have to, because they are in full control.
Well played. Rose Gold Meteor. That's the Rose Gold dog. For Savero, full items. He didn't get to the full items in the previous game. He wants to break his own record now. In 14 minutes with the RGM. So,
mau ngegas di mid kah? Kiri kanannya kagak di clear guys. Let Keyboy. Mata di Keyboy guys. Siapa yang dapat tuh? Oke, enggak aman. Masih aman.
mid inhibitor just falls like that. ONIC not even bothering to sync the waves because they know that they're in such a comfortable position, they can just wait for them to connect anyway.
Lurch Pathway again, good Spirit of Misery to pin him down now as they dive into the back again. Safero going to be able to dash away. One more time, the kick from Keyboy! Stands next to It's the kick, and now with Albert down, Keyboy walks up again. The knockout into the freeze. Sans is godlike. That is another base
Albert
turret
yang
down
dapat
below.
ternyata bangke.
Another one up top. ONIC looking to go for the end.
EVOS Holy
Bilang 2 sih.
for a situation. Zaman Force committed again, but they can't stop them.
Reggie walking up against Safero, turret locking, a reverse sweep in Stream A for ONIC versus
Gelo ONIC.
Despite their best efforts, looks like the Dark Horses were not able to take down the Sky King.
Musuh RRQ nih nanti nih guys ya. Malam ini guys. Oke, thank you semua udah like, share, and subscribe. Thank you semua udah nonton. Kita udah dulu coy. Nanti malam lagi guys ya.
They still put up an amazing fight against ONIC. In fact, even though EVOS Holy is the surprise contender here, I will say that ONIC Esports is probably
Sampai jumpa di next
surprising to me, as they actually came into this
live
game
streaming. Bye bye. Malam ini kita nobar lagi.
of
RRQ.
grouping in Group B with
Oke.
a total of 4 wins and 5